Hi, in this demonstration, we're going to create some game UI. We're going to do a start screen, create some buttons, and I'll get you started, and then you can decide the rest of them. Um, just for the sake of this um, demonstration, I'm going to create a game called Jungle Game, and I just pulling out some text. Um, Make this 270. And the first thing I want to do is find a better font. So again, if I don't know what font to use, maybe that one, kind of Jurassic Parky. Um, that seems like it'll work for me. And you can do interesting stuff if you really want. You can scale up one letter or bend it and stuff. For just now, I'm going to leave this like that. Like I don't even think. And we can get into blending and stuff in a bit. Okay. I also probably need a background, so I went on the internet and found a picture of the jungle. I just dragged that in. There's my picture of the jungle. Move the text layer so it's on top of it. And you can see that that doesn't work super great because I can't see the name. So my options are going to blending options. Literally, my options are I can do drop shadow. That helps a little bit. I can do a stroke. Try a white stroke. No. Greenish still? No. I can pick a color from here, like this yellow. Or maybe one of these dark browns. Crank it up in size a little bit. If you pick a color for your stroke from your game, chances are it'll integrate into the background a little bit better because that color already exists. I don't want black, so nice. And do we want to, we can do stuff like bevel and emboss it, right? Outer bevel, and I can crank that up so it looks like it's 3D. I don't think that's working for me. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can play with in here. Gradient overlay, oh, that kind of looks okay. That really pops. We can go with that. So there, jungle game. And depending like if your game's realistic or not, we might want to take the background and alter it so that it is a little more cartoony. So if I go into the filter gallery, fit on screen. Oh, it's on paper cutout, which I use a lot for doing just this. And if this is too cartoony, I can bring it back. Um, or forward. Like if I just wanted to resemble a forest, but not really have definition, I can do that. And then this would be like for a mobile game or something. But there's all sorts of, we did filters last time. There's all sorts of them. Dry brush. I think I'm going to go with cutout, and I'm going to reduce the edge simplicity. Somewhere in there. We'll go with that for now. Okay. So we have the title of our screen. We have a background. Easy. Assignment's done. No, we need to create a button. And to do this, I could bring in a shape, right? And we can mess around with it. Maybe a blue. No. And this is going to be our start button. So if I do this, it'll wrap around it. So I have to click over here. Anytime you see your text icon doing funky stuff, that means it's getting ready to do one of the other functions. And I want to make sure that this and this are aligned. Actually, this, and this, all three of these elements I want to make sure are aligned. And they are. Don't hit this one. This one will seriously mess everything up. But aligned in the middle again. Great. And then I also want to do use some blending options on the start button. Maybe drop shadow. Maybe a stroke. Perhaps an outer glow. So if you can animate it, you could do something like that, where it's enticing you to press the start button. I'll just leave it on like that. Okay, so if we look at other game start screens, you'll see that they might have the company logo in here or something like that, or pre-game options or something. But generally, this is pretty much what a start screen looks like. And then from the start screen, so what do? Hold on, I want to save this out. So I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file. Start screen. And now I can work on my settings screen, which is the next one. So if I were to go to the internet and find a settings screen, just as a example, just find one. Here's one here. It's by Omni, and you can see it has play, settings, ranking, shop, exit. It has just about. I don't know that we want to include all that. Maybe you don't have that stuff in your game. But now I have a map, so I'm going to drag this over here so I can keep an eye on it. Come back to my game here. And now I can hide this one. By the way, you can get a new background if you want, or if you want that to be a persistent background through all the setting screens, you can leave that. And you can bring in other elements to kind of back up things. So I've got a treasure map here. Let's see if I can find it. Here's my treasure map. And I might have, like if this is part of my thing, I might have this as the settings buttons and just like bring in this. I'm just going to switch this to settings so that I have something to sort of start working with. Now generally your game font, you don't have as your other things fonted. I'm paging out. But you can. So we can actually, let's change this so that we have, we'll save this styling for just our title card, and then our other font, we'll find a different one. Perhaps this one. Okay. And I grab this and this and make sure that they're aligned. And now I can bring in the rest of my text. Which is this again, play options. Settings was on there. So we can really quickly come in here and we just duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate all of that. Just this. Yeah, and then I can reduce it. 154, we can make this like 72. And I can take off the gradient overlay. And on this one, I can go ahead and change the color of the gradient overlay so that it's at least different to the main screen. Great. And then this can be play. Shop. inventory. Keep going and buy it. Duplicate. One last one. Exit. Or back. Now, each one of these and each one of these can be a button unto itself, right? So as you clicked on any of these items, they would just going to align everything to the middle. Great. As you picked on any of these things, they would take you to these things. And this is indeed what we're going to do in our using PowerPoint. So you'll go from the first screen, which is start, and then hit settings, and that will take you to this screen, and then you'll be able to hit each of these, and then each of these four will be a screen unto itself. You have one, the first screen being the start screen, the second screen being the settings screen, and then 1, 2, 3 more. I need one more thing in there. Take exit, move it down a little bit. And if I duplicate it instead of deleting it, and how about ranking or something? You can make it whatever you want. Options. And you want to make sure that these are evenly spaced. In a game atmosphere, if you were creating this, you would create these words, and an engineer would set this all up on the screen. You wouldn't have to do this, but you would have to show them this as, this is what I want. Like, hey, dude, please take this and make this what I want. Oh, actually, I want to, on the blending options for the map, I want to add a drop shadow for that. Pick a dark color from it in here. I don't think it needs an outline, but there we go. Okay, so then this would be your second screen. Start screen, and we'll press a button and it comes to here. So in Photoshop, what you would do is you would save out the start screen as a PNG. And then you would save out the, you don't need the PDF in PowerPoint. You just need the PNG. And then you can come to here. And then each one of these will take you to a different place. And this one will take you back to the start screen. So those are your 6 screens. You have start, you have settings, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more windows that you need to create. So if you create an inventory place, it has to look like an inventory shop. If you create an options place, it has to look like sound, game thing. If you do a shop, it has to look like a place where you can buy stuff. If you do play, then it should look like the first frame of your game, whatever that is. But you can choose whatever you want for here, so you can make it super easy on yourself if you think, if you do it right. All right. In the next video, we'll show you how to take all your screens and put them into a PowerPoint.